Now we return to part 3, let's go back. Where do we left off from Stella, Sam, Lycan, Lunatic? It cut to black, before fading to Stella, having changed back and unconscious, before slowly waking up. What happened? Stella groaned. Suddenly, Stella turned around, seeing something that would change her world. Sam, Stella yelled, as she ran up to her brother's dead body. No. No. Sam, please, say something. Wake up, please, Stella begged, as she began shaking her brother's body. However, he was already dead. No. How did this happen? How did this? Stella then immediately stopped, and noticed the blood on her hands, and her clothes. As she realized, I did all of this. I killed them, Stella spoke. And without warning, Stella started crying, uncontrollably. At this point the guilt was eating Stella alive. And no, I need to tell Mum and Dad, Stella sobbed, as she ran off screen. It then cut back to the house, as Stella rushed inside, only to gasp and throw her hands over her mouth upon what she saw. Her parents were dead because of her. No, Stella shouted, before collapsing on the ground and continuing to sob. This is all my fault. I'm a terrible sister. What am I supposed to do now? Stella cried. Wait, Stella gasped. I know what to do now. Without warning, she ran to the garage, which was also never seen in the show, as she grabbed two things. A matchbox, and a rifle. Okay, Stella. You have to do this. You know you don't want to. But you have to, Stella said, before running outside, and grabbing one of the matches out of the matchbox. It's time, Stella said under her breath, before taking out a match, lit, and, without warning, set the whole forest on fire. Oh my God, I muttered. As Stella looked around, she dropped the matchbox, before running in with the rifle to avoid getting caught up with the flames. At this point, I knew what she was about to do. Stella? What are you doing? I asked. However, she didn't listen to me, as she put the rifle in her mouth. I'll see you soon, Sam, Stella sobbed, before, boom. A huge chunk of Stella's head was blown off, as she fell to the ground dead. Stella, no, I cried, and then, it just stayed there with Stella's dead body, then fading a shot of Stella Sam house, before panning up to the moon and fading to black. And that's where the episode ended. It then cut to the credits, but they weren't any better. Throughout the credits, all the backgrounds looked darker, and most of them were in flames. There was also no sign of Fred, Sam, or Stella. And so, as the credits came to a close, the logos came up, but they were even worse. The family logo's background was a black one with blood splatters, while the logo itself was red. The F was black, the text was red and on fire, and there were bite and scratch marks all over it. The Radical Sheep logo was no better. The sheep looked disgusting. It was covered in blood, its face was ripped off exposing its skull, its wings had rips in them, the background was dark navy blue magenta, the text was melting, along with being light magenta, and underneath the logo was red text reading, Hail the Moon, and finally after that logo faded out. The episode had really ended. After the episode's end, I was in a rollercoaster ride of emotions, shock, fear, disgust, sympathy, and sadness, but most of all, anger. Seriously, what the hell was Family Radical Sheep on when making this, and what was Sprout on when airing this? I just didn't care anymore. I simply closed my laptop, and decided to go to the living room to watch some, I don't know, anything to get my mind off of what I had just seen. Oh, did I mention that I even had nightmares from the damned episode? Yeah, lots and lots of nightmares. Mostly about Stella though. However, there was one question I had lingering in my mind before I went to sleep. Who created this episode? I was on my laptop again, searching up to find any evidence I could on this episode, but I wasn't having much luck. Until I saw a news report. It happened to be from 2013, and I knew I had to check it out. So I decided to click on the video of the news report, and what I saw wasn't what I was expecting. The video centered on a brutal, gory episode of Stella Sam airing on Sprout. That episode being the same one that I watched yesterday, and trust me, that left me shocked. Then it showed some interview with a mother of 3, named Vanessa Rose, explaining about how that episode had left her 3 children traumatized, before facing the camera and giving a message to Sprout, Radical Sheep, and family. Listen, I don't know what drugs you 3 were on, but that is just unacceptable to air. You all seriously need to get yourselves checked out, and think before you go out of your way, and air something that shouldn't be aired at all, Rose shouted. It then showed another interview, showing a father of a young daughter by the name of Robert Stein, and he was also pissed, more pissed than the mother as he made his rant. I'm at a loss for words. Why would Sprout just go like, yep, totally not messed up for kids? Like what the hell? My daughter was crying so much when I saw what happened, and just... Seriously, Sprout. Shame on you. Stein rented. Then it would show a message from Sprout themselves. Here's the message from memory. To all the angry parents, upset children, and viewers who saw what aired last night on Sprout. We truly apologize for not just showing that episode, but even allowing it to air. The episode in general was made by a former employee of Family and Radical Sheep, Jordan Kind. We used to think that he was just a regular employee, but he wasn't. On some occasions, he would come up with morbid ideas, which we wouldn't accept, but one day he came up with a Stella and Sam episode, and managed to get the entire thing aired on Sprout. However, after we saw what he did, we had fired him from the team, so we assure all of you that something like this will never happen again. We're super sorry, and apologize to everyone who saw that, but rest assured, this won't happen again. Sincerely, everyone at Sprout. After that, they said that all boundaries have been made, and no charges have been filed. And the video ended. Now, to be fair, after watching the video, I was stunned. Who is Jordan Kind? Who gave him these ideas for such an episode? I mean, it's not even fucking funny. Honestly, I didn't even know what to do anymore. This was just too much for me. So, yeah, that doesn't mean I'm done with Stella Sam. I will go back to watching it, but I just want to take a long, or not so long, break from it. And besides, I think we've all learned something today. Sometimes, lost media just needs to stay lost. The end.